Hello and welcome to Inside Boxing's Throwdown. I'll tell you what, my name is Aurelio Martinez, Steve Johnson, and we're going to talk about this week's fights. Steve, we had some great action this week, like we predicted last week. There was going to be a lot of great action. Started as of Thursday and just carried on through the weekend and ended up with a bang with the Triple G fight. So it was real good. Let's just go ahead and take it. And let's take it from the beginning.
Well, let's talk about your boy. I'll let you talk about your boy, Joseph Parker. He handled Khalid Meehan on Thursday.
Well, you know, we've been following Parker for a long time since he kind of broke into the scene, and he's actually continuing his way. It only took him 3 rounds to dispose of Khalid, and he's just continuing to grow into a bona fide heavyweight. As a matter of fact, this fight, Steve, was for a whole lot of bouts. Not world title bouts,
Right.
but you know, Oceanic, Pacific, you name it. But regional type bouts. I think he picked up like 4 or 5 of them bouts with this fight. So, you know, it's getting close to where Parker's going to be in the mix, where he's going to have to step it up and get with these top 10 contenders. And you know, I'm gonna tell you, he's ready. He's ready.
Think he's ready?
He's ready. He's ready. I mean, he don't want to get in there and fight your top world champion, but he's ready to break into that top 10.
Well, I've heard conversation. A lot of people think he's ready right now for the likes of Deontay Wilder. I disagree. I'm like you. I think he's got to take his time. But he's definitely working his way into the mix.
I think he just needs to. They're doing it right. I mean, you come in here and you take some of these fighters that are over their prime but still in there trying to make a run for it, and you deal with that level first, and then you go on and you challenge a Deontay Wilder for the championship, or talk about the big boys, the Klitschko's in them, you know, because that's top line. So, but I actually like him. He's doing what he's doing. He's doing everything right. And I think everybody needs to understand and look forward to hearing that name, Joseph Parker, in the limelight here pretty soon.
Okay, last week we mentioned a couple of fights that you might want to pay attention to on Saturday. One of them was on Unamas in Phoenix, Arizona, top-ranked promoted card, where Jesse Magdaleno stopped Virgil Nebron in round 1. Enough said. In Uncasville, Connecticut, super middleweight bout, Demetrius Boo Boo Andrade stopped Fabian Puchetta in round 2. Enough said. Let's move on to what we really want to get to, folks, and I know you want to hear us talk about it, was the Premier Boxing Champions bout. Al Heyman and Associates, it started off with the about that. We're going to talk about it here, and I know there's going to be disagreement, but you guys, this is our take on it. We had a superweight bout where a 31-year-old Terrell Williams from California was taking on the 23-year-old Puerto Rican prospect Pritchard Colon in one of the most disgusting bouts I've ever seen televised. As you guys know, we've been, putting on blast some of these judges and referees. This judge is named Joseph Cooper. Don't forget his name, Joseph Cooper. He allowed low blows, rabid punching. This fight was ugly. Aurelio, it was finally stopped in round 9, but it should have been DQ'd. Both of them should have been DQ'd, in my opinion, somewhere around the end of the 5th round. But anyway, bottom line is that this Pritchard kid is now, we found out that he just had to have emergency brain surgery to relieve pressure because he had bleeding in the brain from all of these rabid punches that all of you saw it, and you didn't see it. You need to go to YouTube and see this fight. It was absolutely disgusting.
You know, Steve, we're going to talk about that. And we're not leaving the Triple G out. We're going to come back with the whole segment just for them, because there's a lot to talk about that fight. But this is very important. This is very important because we, as fans, and most of your fans out there, just look at the fight, and you obviously can see the dirty tactics that go on with these fights. Now, Steve, I got a couple of questions. Number one, how do cornermen, trainers, allow this, not only allow this, but promote this? And we're in the gym all the time, and I talk to people that come in from other gyms, and the first thing they say is, well, my coach said, and I say my coach because that's what they are. They're coaches. I'm a trainer, okay? And there's a difference between a trainer and a coach. So these coaches, the guys come in and they say, Well, my coach says if the guy hits you low or something, then you got to come back and you just hit him right back low. You retaliate. You know, this is the wrong mentality, okay? This is the wrong mentality. You go in there and you do your job. You do your job and you do it well, and it's up to the referees and the officials to take control. And like we talked about, we want to name these officials and put them on blast, because there's a lot of incompetent officials out there that are putting the boxers' lives in their hands, and people don't realize that it is a sport and they're boxing, but it's a very dangerous sport if it's not securely run by the officials that are supposedly doing their job. Now, yes, there was an intentional, a flagrant low blow by Colon, okay, early in the fight, and the referee he actually. No warning, took 2 points away, which he was supposed to do.
Intentional.
It was intentional. I don't think anyone would even disagree if you'd have disqualified it at that point. I mean, but you have to taking 2 points is pretty strong.
Exactly.
So at that point, I says, good. You know, you stop that right away. Next time you get a low blow, the fight's over. You know, so that was good. But then again, Williams comes in and deliberately, when he turned his head, went over the back of his head and hit him with the solid overhand right hand to the back of his head, Steve. Now, you know, that alone should have been another means of disqualification. Or if anything, stop the fight, it's over. You know, they do that in Mexico all the time. You know, pop, 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 over, go. No fight. You know,
it was hard to watch. Like you said, man, for us that are, you know, for all of us true boxing fans, you know, you watch that. And the first time, now before, you know, to his back up a little bit, when Colon hit Williams with that low blow, that was intentional. Colon was ahead on the fight as far as I was concerned, but his thing was that he did that because Williams, every time they got in a clinch, he was rabbit punching.
Yeah, he was rabbit punching.
So, like you said,
that was retaliation.
That's right, and that was on Joseph Cooper, the referee, Joseph Cooper, to step his ass in there, separate them both, and tell them, any more of this from either one of you, I'm going to DQ you. Both. It's going to be over.
Both. It's over.
Okay? But he allowed it to go on and on and on until the point where, you know, where this kid is like now fighting for his life, basically. But, you know, it was also, if you watch the post-fight interviews, you know, Williams, he's all happy and he's like, oh, I'm in the mix, you know, here. And man, no feeling, no compassion for this kid who he knows you know, just basically just beat up.
But,
I mean, there was nothing, you know, Terrell Williams, as far as I'm concerned, I could care less what he does. He's 31 years old. I'll never talk about him again. He's one of those boxers where I say, you know what, he needs to go into MMA.
You can't be a dirty fighter. You can't be a dirty fighter in this game.
He's going to do that going to MMA. There's some boys there that'll handle you.
You can't be a dirty fighter. Now going back, and I want to bring up a point, is when Williams hit him with the initially in the back of the head, which kind of stopped the fight for a matter of minutes.
Yes.
Okay. Fans on TV watching this, it's easy to say, well, you know, the guy's just looking for a way out, or he's lying or something. But obviously, you haven't been hit in the back of the head. Underneath where, see, let me explain.
There you go.
You've got the skull of your head, which protects you from blows on top and on the side. So you got ample protection, okay? But the back of the head, where the neck and the head and the skull meet, is very vulnerable. Okay, it's very vulnerable and it's dangerous. There's a reason why rabbit punching, like you say, is illegal.
That's right.
Okay, it's protection. It's illegal because it's a ugly blow. It's illegal because it's a protection of the fighters. Okay, so when you get hit there, it's easy for fans to see, well, this guy's, oh man, he's scared. He wants to quit. He wants to do this, but he's sitting there holding his head. He went and he talked to the doctor and told the doctor he was dizzy and stuff like that. But the problem is, nobody believed him. Nobody believed him. On first sight, it looked like the guy was just looking for a way out or stopping the fight or to get a DQ. Now, maybe that had something to do with it, but it doesn't change the fact that he was hit in a vulnerable spot and basically by the referee, given the time and made to continue fight.
And don't forget,
he was actually made to continue to fight.
And don't forget, you know, the disgusting commentary. You know, Sugar Ray Leonard, you should be ashamed of yourself. Because Sugar Ray Leonard said, well, it looked to me like Williams, Colon turned his head into the punch where he got hit.
Oh yeah, that was Colon's fight. Yeah, so, I mean fault.
Yeah. It was just disgusting, and I'm gonna leave it there. I'm just gonna say this, Radio. Let me end with this. If I'm the family of this kid Colon, I sue Joe Cooper. I sue the cornermen. I sue the Virginia State Boxing Commission, and I sue Al Heyman. All of you people are culpable for this kid.
You sue them all. This guy's in the hospital fighting for his life now, yes. and regardless, when you have to have any kind of surgery, neurosurgery, brain surgery, it is a serious matter. This man is fighting for his life, and we want everyone out there to send the prayers out. Hopefully, he gets out of this completely and no repercussion. But it's a dangerous situation.
One thing I want to say before we radio, a good friend of mine, Troy Fox, his son Alantez, sly as a fox, 6'5" middleweight, 23 years old. He's now he improves to 17-0 with 17-0-1 with us. I think 6 KOs, but congratulations to Lantes. We want to keep our eye on him because at 6'5" in middleweight, sooner or later somebody's going to put him on raising him up. He was on the undercard of the premiere show, but he's talented, and like I said, Troy's a good friend. Congratulations to Lantes.
Well, maybe he'll sign with Al Heyman. He'll never lose.
That's not
that was just a little dig at Al Heyman's fighters because.
Well, that's pretty obvious right now. I mean, it's a dig at him, but it's pretty obvious.
Anyway, we're going to come back on our next segment for the first one this episode and talk about the fight everyone's been waiting to hear. And if you didn't pay for the pay-per-view this past weekend, we're going to talk about that fight between Triple G and Lemieux.
And Chocolatito.
Good stuff.
From Gonzalez and Brian Valoria. We'll talk about those.
Until then, come back. Keep your hands up.
Keep them up, baby.